Right guys, how's it going? So I have made, I think it's around 160 grand so far with appointment setting, and I've landed roles, some really high ticket roles with people like Charlie Morgan and William Brown, many other people as well. But the point of this video is I wanted to record a very quick masterclass of how I got to this point and how beginner appointment setters should go about it as well. Okay, because I've been doing this for 2 years now. I've obviously achieved like what I've just said there, and I want to share with you guys what it actually takes and what you should do moving forward, because there's going to be so many mistakes you're about to make or you're already making but you can't even see, and I'm going to really help you out. Okay, so the first point is pick a profitable market and an industry to get into. Okay, a lot of you guys think I want to be an appointment setter, and what you do straight away is just start looking for any random appointment setting position that's open and start applying, right? And thinking, right, there we go, that's a 5K a month position. That's not how it works, right? You need to actually understand what you're looking for, understand the industry and the market you're actually getting into, okay? I recommend, if you're gonna get into any kind of like, any market at all, is get into either health, wealth, or relationships. Now, the reason why, okay, and I'll tell you why, is because within health, wealth, and relationships, the biggest pain points lie within those as well. Okay, they make up basically the entire human experience. Okay, so because that has so much leverage, the biggest problems are going to lie within these, and the bigger the problem, the more expensive and the higher ticket price you can charge for the solution to that problem. Okay, so for example, fitness coaching, I don't know, quit your alcohol addiction coaching, save your marriage coaching or consulting, right? Save your business, improve your profit margins, hire better team members, hire better salespeople, fix your bottlenecks, scale your own, like start a marketing agency, whatever, right? These are all massive pain points that people would charge, that people would pay a lot of money to fix, okay? And if it's something that's really expensive and people are buying it and you're a commission-based appointment setter, which you will be, right? Well, you're going to get paid as a direct result of how much they're charging for the program, okay? If you're getting paid, for example, let's say you're starting off on a 5% commission only role, and their ticket price is 2K, well, that means you're going to get $100 per close, right? Sounds okay, but then you have to rely on the amount of leads that are coming through. You have to rely on their closing rate. You have to rely on the show rate, everything like that. You're not going to make that much money on a 5% only deal with not much leads coming through for an offer that's only like 2K, right? Compared to if it was like you were selling a starter business coaching offer that was 10K and you're getting 5% of that, well, it's a much different story that way, isn't it? Okay, so health, wealth, relationships, purely because, right, biggest pain points, biggest price points, that means you're going to get paid more as a result. Okay, cool. Number two is when you actually pick a market, like you pick whether you want to get into health, wealth, or relationships. Now that could be fitness coaching, business coaching, like I said. Once you picked one you want to get into, like I don't want you guys to just spam Facebook groups and Facebook job posts like straight away. Like you can do that, but at least do it with some kind of direction, right? What I mean is when you actually find the environment you want to be in, pick every single platform that you know these guys hang out on and message them there, okay? And what I mean by that is a lot of you guys would be like, oh, how do I find these people to apply to? Well, if you actually understand the nature of the business that they have, right? Because they'll have competitors too. For example, fitness coaches, you'll understand, oh, a lot of that is on Instagram compared to Twitter. You're going to find more on Instagram. So you go to Instagram because it's where the niche hangs out, okay? And you apply there and you message them there and you follow up there, right? You don't just like go to a platform that you don't know if they're active on and then kind of hope for the best. You have to actually understand and do your due diligence. Like a fitness coach is going to be more on Instagram than they are going to be on Facebook. Now, obviously, it's going to depend for the coach, but at mass, Instagram is kind of the hub for fitness coaching, right? So you're going to understand where your niche actually hangs out. This is not a hard thing to understand. For example, most coaching offers now are on Instagram as well. So you just go to Instagram, or if it's on Facebook, you go to Facebook. And you can do that with a ChatGPT search and doing your own research on the nature of the businesses that you're already trying to target, okay, and seeing where most of them hang out. And you go to that platform, right? And that's where you're going to do most of your work. Okay, you're not going to try and reach out on Twitter if they don't use Twitter. Okay, so you're going to find out where they hang out and apply a message to them on there. Okay. And also, like, you have to understand, this is my third point, is there's no correct method or approach to doing this. And what I mean by that is like applying or messaging them. There's no correct method or platform or strategy, right? The best way I can describe it is you do, for example, you're worrying about what platform to use. Find the one that they're hanging out the most on, right? But find every other platform as well and just do all of them really, really, really well. Okay. For example, like Instagram DMs, LinkedIn DMs, Facebook, like just do all of them really well. Like they all work, right? As long as the person's got a big personal brand and a following and a business that actually has taken off the ground, they're going to be on social media somewhere. Okay. So you don't have to worry about one specific platform, okay, or method of doing it. You just do every single one, but extremely bloody well. And that works really well because they're looking for good appointment setters. A good appointment setter is an appointment setter that goes out of their way to find them on other platforms and follows up until the ends of the earth to get a response. So that's how you need to do it too. Okay, they're trying to see, are you worth me hiring you? Why should I hire you if you've got a terrible profile picture, an account that looks like an Xbox gamer tag, and you just comment the keyword setter under their post and don't follow up or anything? Why should they hire you? If that's how much effort you're going to put in to try and land a role, what's it going to be like when you're actually on the role? Okay, they want to see character traits of what they're looking for with you applying to their position so they can understand how well you'll be when they hire you. Okay, cool. Number 4, vet offers heavily, right? And only do pay per sale if the company is dialed in, right? So again, a lot of you guys think, oh, appointment setting's easy. Let me just apply to loads of random job posts. Yeah, great, but you don't know what you're looking for. You haven't picked the niche or the market you want to get into. You also don't understand the payment structures, right? You don't understand if, for example, they're offering pay per sale and you haven't done your research and due diligence to see if their company actually warrants a successful pay per sale model, then you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? If they have a 2K price point, a brand new business, not much following, they're looking for you to do cold outreach only. They haven't validated the offer or anything, and then you're getting 5% commission on if they close, and they haven't even had a sales call yet. Well, you're not going to be able to see that in the beginning when you first start out because you haven't actually done your due diligence yet. You think, oh, that sounds great. Anyone can sell you the dream saying, oh, you can make 3K on track earnings, right? You have to understand, like, does the business actually have the foundations to warrant something like that? Okay. Like, only ever do pay per sale if the company is well known, right? It's got to be personal brand. It's got a successful track record in the past for the past 2-3 years of happy clients, inbound leads, good closing rates, good happy appointment setters, happy team members. That's how you know pay per sale is gonna be worth your time, because a lot of the time it won't be. Okay, it's brand new companies that don't want to spend on any team members, so they think they can get away with just paying you commission only. That's not how it works. Okay, cool. Now, the next one is frame yourself as someone who will get more clients, not appointments, right? And this is like the whole appointment setter thing. Yeah, it's great, but they don't want appointments. Like, it sounds like they want appointments because you're an appointment setter. They don't actually want that. They want clients, because appointments equal the potential to become a client. So if you say to them, look, most appointment setters are going to tell you they can get you more calls in the calendar. Truthfully, they won't be qualified. Truthfully, they're not going to show, and the closing rate is going to be really low because they're just trying to put people in for the sake of it, just to get paid. I'm going to bring you leads, right? That are actually going to become clients and cash in the bank. That's going to be music to their ears, and nobody's framing it like that. So if you just say that, you're separating yourself from basically 90% of every other appointment setter you're competing with. Okay, I'm an appointment setter that focuses on getting you clients and cash in the bank, not appointments, and you only pay me if I perform. Okay, so framing it that way is going to give you so much more leverage. Cool. Right, next one. Track your metrics, right? Track all your data, track all your inputs, track everything. And that comes to landing roles and also when you're on the roll as well, okay? What I mean by that is, like, track all your conversations from cold lead to interested to calendar link sent to booked in to sales call closed. You're going to have metrics on each stage and conversion rates on each stage to see where the bottlenecks and if you're hitting your KPIs. If you want a full breakdown of how that works, I've got a sheet that I use that landed me 5K a month position in my first month of using it. If you want that, message me on Instagram and follow me at AidenK Social, and I will send it over. Okay, just comment sheet and I'll send it over. But anyone that doesn't track their metrics or their inputs, you're asking to be broke, basically, right? The only reason I've made so much money with appointment settings is because I had this sheet that kept me accountable, right? You can't expect to scale or grow or be successful if you aren't tracking your inputs and reviewing them daily, understanding where things are going wrong and how to fix bottlenecks. For example, if you don't have this sheet, you're going to think, I'm not booking appointments because of my script, right? You're going to go based off emotion. Whereas if you had the sheet, you'd be able to look and see where the problem actually is and see, oh, maybe it's not actually my script, it's my follow-up style when they are engaged. And you wouldn't have known that, right, if you didn't have the sheet, and you'd be changing something that didn't need changing. So it's super important that you actually track like your life depends on it for landing roles, right, for doing your own outreach, and also when you're on a roll and you're trying to book those leads into appointments for the offer that you're on. Okay. Next one is send voice notes and humor and personalization as much as you possibly can. Okay. So what I mean by that is, of course, like, it depends if the person that you're working with is fine with you introducing yourself as an appointment setter, or I recommend saying your assistant, their assistant, right? Send voice notes. Personalization as much as you can is going to be key here. People are very wary of AI, wondering if they're speaking to an AI bot. So personalized videos, personalized voice notes, storytelling, anything to prove that you're a human being and not an AI bot is going to do you so much more good than bad. Okay, because everything's just copy and paste nowadays. Everything's like AI. There's no personalization in anything. So just taking the time, the little bit of extra effort to actually have some personalization, use some humor, right? Personalized stories, voice notes, whatever, you're going to convert so much higher than if you didn't. Okay. And that's honestly a large reason of why I've made so much, is because I can relate to the niche that I work with. For example, like, it's going to depend on the offer that you're on, but because I picked a good market and a good niche in the beginning, like I've told you to do, I understood the intricacies of it. I knew their pain points. I'd actually been in their position before. And because of that, I could use my own storytelling and personalization to use it as leverage to actually book in calls. Okay. And that's why I made so much money. So do that yourself. Okay. Because you're going to be alienated. Otherwise, you're not going to know what you're talking about, and they're not going to want to talk to you either. Okay. Cool. Next one and last one is follow up at least 7 times. I'd say 8, to be honest, but at least 7 for engaged prospects. And that means people who have asked more information, people who have definitely asked for the call, okay? And that is especially important. In fact, I'd probably do even more follow-ups for that. A lot of you guys think, oh, if they don't respond after the first follow-up, leave them alone. No, spam them. I know it sounds bad. Don't spam them. But well, yeah, it might be seen as spamming, but here's the thing. Like, people get busy. People are testing you. You don't understand. Unless they say no, keep following up. I don't understand this. Oh, they didn't respond. Well, message them again. Like, I'm not being funny. You're paid commission. You haven't got the leverage to be going, oh, they must be busy, I'll leave them alone. No, like, what are you doing? You're telling me you want to make 5-10K a month, but you're letting leads slip through the cracks like that. Like, come on. Like, oh, I don't want to bother them. Bother them. Who cares? You're paid commission. Who cares? I don't understand this whole, stop being stupid. Follow up as many times as you can until you get a yes or no. Yes, you're going to get people that are going to get angry at you, right? Cool, who cares? You're paid commission. You haven't really got the leverage to be, picky about this. So follow up and have no shame with it. Okay, do it politely and respectfully, and do it with humor, so you're not going to completely piss them off. Sometimes you will, but a lot of the time, trust me, you're going to book more calls than if you didn't. So listen to me, right? Do it at least 7 times for engaged prospects. So they've asked for more information and they didn't respond. Follow up 7 times until they do. If they don't after the 7th or 8th, then leave them alone, right? But for example, with the calendar, people who have gotten that far to booking in a call, you're going to give up after the first follow-up? Really? Like, they've gotten that far, they told you they want to book in a call, and you're not going to follow up until the end of the earth to try and get them in. Like, come on, guys. Like, how bad do you really want this? That's the way I think about it, okay? I really hope you can still see me. Yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. Like, that's how I've made all my money with setting. These are very, they sound like basic points to me, but I think if you actually listen to me, right, and do what I say, it's going to really help you out. If you want my personal one-to-one help, right, me holding your hand to landing a very high-ticket AI-proof appointment setting role in 2026, right? I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how to do it because I've done it myself. I still am in the game myself. I still do appointment setting to this day. I don't just coach it. I still also use it. So you can rest assured that what I teach you works now because I use it myself. If you want my personal help doing this, it's going to be a link down below in the description to book in a call with me. Full transparency, if you have that call, it's designed to try and sell you something. So if you don't want to be sold to, then don't click it, right? Don't book in a call. But if you are serious about making this work and you're sick of getting things wrong and having no success with this model, book in that call and I'll run you through exactly how I can help.